Bonjour, I am Jacques Torres and welcome to Tuesday Tips. I work long time at the Negresco. It's an hotel in the Promenade des Anglais in Nice. It's a beautiful, gorgeous hotel. And there, Jacques Maximin is a fan of the salad niçoise. So I'm going to show you how to make a sandwich. It's called a Pan Bagnat. A Pan Bagnat has vegetable inside with a little bit of anchovy and the good vegetable of the south of France. And we usually put that into a bread. So I'm going to show you how to make that bread. It's not a traditional bread from Nice. It's actually a Japanese milk bread. And the technique is to put 43 grams of water with 43 grams of milk. Then you add about 13 grams of flour and you mix that together. I know it's a little bit strange, but the result is amazing. What's happened here is this little mixture here, we're going to add it to the dough, and that's going to retain the moisture in the bread, so the bread comes very soft and delicious. So I'm going to put that on the stove, and I'm going to bring it almost to a boil. So basically, when it starts here, it's almost boiling, you stop it. I mean, it's very fast. So I think it's called tangzong. The tangzong is the base, milk, water, and a little bit of flour. So now I'm just going to leave that here on the table for a few minutes, the time that I scale the rest of the ingredients, and that will be ready to add to the dough. Okay, so my base is ready, and I put the base into the mixer. So remember, that's water, milk, and flour, and I cook it together. Now I'm going to put 300 grams of bread flour, that's important. About 15-20 grams of fresh yeast. 115 grams of milk. Okay. Then sugar, 50 grams. 6 grams of salt. 20 grams of dry milk powder. Oops. Okay. 1 egg. And I have 60 grams of butter that I'm going to add later. So now I mix all those ingredients together. And the paddle is going to help to develop the gluten a little bit faster. Now that the dough came together, I'm going to add my 60 grams of butter. Always be very careful when that thing runs. Don't put your hands in it. That will break your finger very easily. So you can run the machine for a few minutes. Maybe 4 minutes, 4-5 minutes. You don't have to wait until all the dough comes together. You don't have to develop the gluten so much. Okay, it's been 5 minutes. Now I'm going to stop my machine. And the dough is not coming completely together, but it has already some strength, and this is good. So that's called developing the gluten. So I'm going to scrape that and recover all the dough. And I'm going to put that into a bowl. So it's interesting because in pastry, time is an ingredient. So the dough going to start to ferment, but the gluten going to also start working. And you will take the dough and make a ball with it. Give it a little bit of strength by taking the side and put it under. That's called developing the gluten. So that's what I'm going to do now and also in a few minutes. So it's very sticky at the beginning, but don't worry, it will be not as sticky later. The dough is ready, so what you can do is put a tiny film on top just like that. And let it proof an hour to an hour and a half in your kitchen. And that's going to maybe not double, but almost double in volume. You can also, a couple times, take the dough and fold it into itself. That helps to develop the gluten. So the dough rests for about an hour and a half. Then I divide it into 50 grams pieces, and I roll them and put them into a parchment paper. So let me show you how to divide the dough. Okay, that's about 50, 55, 53, 53, 48. Okay, so we take a couple grams from those two, and then we have 50. Okay, so I have only 5 here, but I already make 8 pieces. So you put that into a little bit of flour, then put the flour on top, then with your hands, ball them. So that takes technique to do that. I do that for many years. But if you don't have those techniques, what you do, you take the dough, make it flat, put a little flour under, and bring the side on the middle, turn it, bring the side on the middle, turn it, bring the side on the middle, and keep doing that. And that will develop, again, the gluten. And when it's almost ready, you turn it, you flip it, so you see it's a little bit smoother here, and you finish it like that. And look at that, it's completely round. So I usually ball them a couple times. So, and then I put them into a parchment paper. Okay, then you put a little film on top, and put them in a warm place. What I usually do, I turn my oven at 100, 105 degrees and leave them in it. And you're going to take another hour, and you're going to get that. So they go about 3 times in volume. When they are ready, you just need to take an egg, a brush, and we're going to egg wash them and bake them. 1 egg with maybe half tablespoon, 1 tablespoon of milk. Doesn't matter how much you put. Just beat that up, mix everything together. And that's what brings the beautiful shine on the croissant, on the brioche, on all those baked goods. Okay, then with a brush or a spray bottle, but the brush works very well, you just very delicately put the eggs mixture on top of your bread. I love them very shiny, that's why I put really quite a bit of eggs on top. Then my oven is hot. I'm going to put them in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at about 180 degrees or 380 Fahrenheit. So the bread baked for about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes. It really depends on your oven. But this is how they will come out. So that beautiful color comes, of course, from the egg wash. So what I love about this bread is it stays really, really moist and fluffy and beautiful. So, of course, you don't supposed to fill them when they are hot like that, but I cannot wait. I need to do it. So I'm going to take one of those beautiful bread. I'm going to use a serrated knife and cut it in about half. Okay. Oh, The smell doesn't come through the video, but I wish it does. It smells really good. So what I like to do is put a little bit of olive oil. And you know, this is remind me when I was south of France, I love to go scuba diving. And for some reason, after scuba diving, you get so hungry. So I was going home and I was taking a baguette, just a plain baguette, warm it up if I can, cut it in half, put some olive oil in it, cut some tomatoes, the beautiful tomato from the south of France, salt and pepper, a little bit more olive oil, smash it very well, so all the oil go into the bread, and then I was eating that bread. I can eat half of a baguette like that. No anymore, I'm too old for that, but when I was young, I love it. Okay, so next thing here to do is I'm going to cut, let's see which way, maybe this way, the tomato, and I like to press it a little bit, and that tomato has almost no juice, and put some of the juice in it, into the bread. That's better. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to cut the tomato in pieces. And you can put quite a bit of tomato. You know, tomato are always so good. And I actually remove the skin of the tomato. That's important. Then I can add some green, some salad leaf. Okay, just, a couple green. That's going to give a nice color to it. Okay, I'm going to have, I have here some little green onions that always give a beautiful flavor. Actually, I'm going to put them on that side. It will be easier after to move everything down. So as you do it, remember to add always a little bit of olive oil, and very important, don't forget the salt and the pepper. Okay, so I also have some basil leaf here, so I'm going to cut them in smaller pieces. I don't know, we don't have those giant, look at that, those giant basil leaf. We don't have that in the south of France. They're usually pretty small. Anyway, that's enough. So usually and traditionally we put some hard-boiled egg, some tuna, and a little bit of anchovy. So let me work on that. Now I'm going to add some pieces of hard-boiled egg. I'm just going to divide them a little bit like that, and just a few pieces on top. And again, this is not the most traditional Pan Bagnat. It's called Pan Bagnat in Nice. It's not the most traditional, but I guarantee that's going to be good. Then we can add the tuna. You can keep it vegetarian. You can add tuna if you like. Basically, is whatever you like. And then this is the anchovy. So I'm going to open it so we get the flavor of the anchovy everywhere. 1 or 2 anchovy, no more than that. It will be enough. Okay, that's enough. What else do I forget? No, I think I have everything. I'm going to add a little bit of olive oil. Tiny bit of salt, not too much because the anchovy are already salted. And then I have the top here. Did I put pepper? No, I didn't put my pepper. Some red pepper. Okay. And the top of the bread. Voila. My Pan Bagnat. So when you have guests in the summer and it's hot outside and you don't want to really cook, you can prep that the night before and just put them together, and I guarantee your guests are going to love you. Bon appétit.